Hey guys, welcome back to Girls Frontline 2. In today's video, we are talking teams. It's one of the most commonly asked questions I've seen. So I want to go through the team building process and some example teams for pure free-to-play who have none of the 5-star characters. Go through some teams based on characters people have been pulling for and stuff like that. But essentially, I think with team building in this game, it's more around... It's not around like building just you have these specific roles. It's more about make the synergies of the characters in the team function. So for instance, one that I loved going to, like if I was doing a full free-to-play account where I didn't use any of the 5-star characters, then I would be looking at using Sharkry as my main DPS. She is my sub DPS in my current team alongside Qiongjiu, but she would be a fantastic one for free-to-play. And it's not a matter of looking at a tier list going, oh, this character's low on the tier list, I won't use them, because some characters have amazing synergies. For instance, with Sharkry, if we look at her neural helix that she unlocks, when an enemy target within range is affected by overburn, performs a supportive attack and can do it up to 3 times per turn. Now, if we look at where a good synergy for that is, there's a fantastic synergy in a unit that's rated pretty low on tier lists, but that is Krolik. Now, the reason for that is her passive, at the end of turn, she applies overburn to the 2 closest enemy targets within 5 tiles for 2 turns. So she's applying that overburn, meaning she's going to proc Sharkry to attack the 2 enemies that she applies overburn to. So that is a great synergy. Then we have another synergy that we need some sustain in this team, because obviously if we're running 2 DPS, we kind of need some sustain. Then we have Ksenia, who then also has an ability that can apply overburn. So that is going to provide another assist attack for our Sharkry, which is a fantastic core. So now we've got like sustain, 2 DPS. Then what you can do is you can look to what you want to do for the final unit on a team like this. You could look at Groza for a bit more support type thing, or you could even go with something like Cheetah for a little bit of an extra support, extra heal for your free-to-play team. But like I said, I feel like if you're running the core of, as a free-to-play player, the core of Sharkry with Ksenia and Krolik, you've got a really good core, and you can just put whatever character works, like whether you need more sustain or more damage. And that is like a perfectly valid free-to-play team to get you pushing along the way. When we look at other characters, a lot of people are going for Qiongjiu. So with and let's face it, if you have Suomi is your sustain in every team that you have. So that's pretty much it. If you have Suomi, you're running her as your sustain. Sometimes you might run another heal support as well. So for me, on harder content, I've been running Suomi with Qiongjiu and then also with Ksenia. Now, for my last option, if it's a more offensive fight, I will run with the Chakra in that team as well. Otherwise, sometimes I run with Groza, so I've got more defensive support, but Groza also has the ability to revenge on attacks, so if there's enemies using single target attacks, she will then revenge. These two both have an assist, so then what can happen is that the enemy does a single target attack, she will supportive attack, she will supportive attack, she will use her attack, and then she will supportive attack. So it gives you offensive pressure when it's outside of your turn. So there's all these things that you can play around with. But like I said, I think the main thing you want to be doing is choosing your main DPS and your main defensive supportive character. From there, you can just do whatever you want. Like I said, if it's a harder stage and you need more sustain, then you go an extra sustainer. Kind of like I said, I run this, and this. That's an extra sustain, because at the end of the day, Suomi, even though her shields are great, her healing is very, very limited, because it's limited on range and it's only 5%, goes up to 10% of her max HP, which is still alright, but her healing is not great. So if you're taking damage and those shields are getting broken, then you kind of want another healer in a pinch that also provides some offensive pressure, which Ksenia is a fantastic option for. Then the other thing we can look at is, other synergies. So some people may have Tololo. So Tololo, obviously Tololo also is a great one to pair with Qiongjiu, because she takes multiple turns, meaning she can proc the multiple assists from Qiongjiu, which is fantastic synergy. I just haven't built mine up yet because I only just pulled her. But the other thing with her is, if we take a look, you look at each time an allied unit deals Hydra damage, this unit gains 1 stack of Light Spike, which increases her crit damage and can stack up to 8 times. So with her, you want to bring some Hydra units. Now we do have the tank chick whose name has left me because I haven't pulled her, but she's the one that's eating the food. If you get her, then she's great because she has Hydra damage and she's an all-round decent unit. Now, the other thing we do have is, you can use Kolfni because she does have some Hydra damage for that stack, and she can run as the sustain in the team. So we have these core synergies to play with. Now, when we look to units like Peridia, she is an amazing AoE damage dealer, and she has this amazing passive as well. So if we take a look at her passive, she gets the action support. So basically, whenever an ally does AoE damage, every unit hit by that AoE damage, up to 6, obviously, because it's only 6 times per turn, she will deal an attack to each of them, and then it gets increased with her movement range left. So she is one that you really want to bring with AoE damage dealers. Now, I do something if I've got a bit of a mixed fight where I'm trying to, there's some AoE to clear some trash and a bigger enemy that I need to nuke with one single target. You can actually merge these two things. So in that situation, I personally would be bringing my Qiongjiu and my Suomi. Suomi sustain, Qiongjiu main single target DPS. Then I bring Peridia. Now you're like, that team doesn't seem very synergistic because all of her skills outside of basic attack are AoE, which won't proc Qiongjiu. But then the one unit I bring into it is Groza. As I mentioned earlier, Groza gives me the chance to proc Qiongjiu's ability on defense, so she can revenge and then proc the additional attack from Qiongjiu. If it's a single target enemy I'm down to, I can use Peridia's basic attack to also proc Qiongjiu. However, I also have Groza's AoE attack to take advantage of Peridia to get her extra follow-ups. So then I have a decent little bit of AoE damage as well. So you can build teams around split AoE single target depending on the stage. So that is what we are looking at. Like I said, you really want to be picking your main DPS and your main defensive support, and then you just go past that. Bring more damage or offensive support if you're having no trouble with survival. If you're having trouble with survival, then bring another defensive support, being heals and stuff like that. The thing I love about Ksenia is, especially for fire units, she gives a good offensive buff, but also a good healing option to support in a pinch. And I think she pairs really well with the Suomi team, because if Suomi's shield breaks, it's normally only breaking on one ally because they got heavily nuked, and then you can just heal them up and restore some stability with Ksenia, which is absolutely fantastic. So what I want to do is I want to jump in and show you some of these core synergies. Okay, so here we go. I want to show you this core synergy, this free-to-play synergy. Now, my Krollik is only level 9, so she's going to die pretty quick, but I absolutely love this. And once again, in this team, you can then put an extra support if you want to, if you have Suomi or something like that. You can put an extra DPS, works really well with Qiongjiu. You can put like more of a defensive support, still works decently. You can put whatever you want. You could even bring an extra healer for some more standard AoE heals if you're struggling a bit. It doesn't matter what you put in the last spot. But like I said, this is just showing you how a free-to-play team core functions. Even though Krollik is considered a low-tier unit, when characters synergize, the characters become better. And that is the basic gist to it. Now, Krollik for a whale with every character probably ain't going to be as good because Shakri isn't going to be their best DPS. But if Shakri is your best DPS, then supporting your best DPS is going to be fantastic. So I'm going to just jump in here and show you guys what I am talking about with these synergies. Now, once again, with that Neural Helix upgrade, our Shakri gets 3 assist attacks on units that have Overburn applied to them. So, and then over here with Krollik, we apply Overburn to 2 enemies. So when we jump in with her, what we'll do is, and the other thing we have is, don't forget that we do get a supportive attack from Ksenia as well. So if we go here, we use our buff. Boom. Then we're going to apply Overburn. We'll put Overburn on this bad boy. We're going to actually land the kill, but we'll take it. So we go confirm. So that's the supportive attack. There's her attack. And there's her follow-up attack because of the Overburn application. Now, she does have Overburn as well, but because we're going to get 2 Overburn revenge attacks with Krollik when she moves, we're not going to use that. Actually, we'll use Krollik first and show you. So if I go here and I go boom, so now you're going to see he's going to get really, really low. Wait, let's see if we can do it this way. It doesn't land the kill on him. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and do this. AoE. And at the end of her turn, boom, there's the Overburn, there's the follow-up. There's the follow-up on the Overburn. Once again, that's after the Overburn applications. Now, unfortunately, if we use her Overburn, it won't apply because we only get 3 of those. So now we don't want to do that. Now we want to use her other attack, get herself buffed, and then we can follow on in the next turn. Now, unfortunately, our Krollik is going to die here because she's in the middle and she's level 9, so she's just going to get tapped, as you can see. But if she didn't get tapped because we had her built, then next turn she would apply 2 Overburns as well. That would mean we get 2 more follow-ups with our Shakri, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, with Shakri this turn, as you can see, her ability's done, so we unfortunately can't get her to apply again. But once again, we can just go ahead and swing at something. We still get that other supportive attack. We can kill actually anything in this at the moment, which is nice. So let's just kill this guy. Boom. There's the supportive. Boom. Dead. And so now what we can do with her is we can use her Overburn And so even though she doesn't get the kill, there's the follow-up, we get the kill. So like I said, playing to synergies is fantastic, and I really love this as a free-to-play core synergy with these 3 units, with the Overburn application and using Sharkry as your main DPS. Now, obviously we fail because, you know, we're under leveled, but that is a gist of how the core synergy works. Okay, so now I want to show you the Qiongjiu synergy, because I know a lot of people did aim for Qiongjiu, or will probably be picking her up from the selector within the next month. I don't know how long it'll take to get those last few summons, but she does have a great synergy with all of these characters. Now, I'm using my Suomi. If you didn't have a Suomi, you could bring another healer, or you could bring another DPS, because we do have a healing unit. It just depends on the pressure of the team. But I just wanted to show you guys this team, because this team has some really good synergies with the follow-up attacks, or the supportive attacks. I always call them follow-ups. I can't help it. But let's just jump in, and I want to show you guys that. So if we go over here, let's start with Groza, and let's just go over here and put the defenses up. Cool. We're getting set up. Now we're going to go ahead with her, and we're just going to move her into a point where she can pretty much attack anything. And then we're going to go ahead and use her support so she gets more damage on her supportive attacks. Okay, now we have her. So what we're going to do is we're just going to attack something, and whatever we attack is going to get insta-killed anyway, because we are going to get that supportive attack on it. So if we just go boom, then we get that follow-up. Perfect. So now with her, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use her shield, because obviously the shield is going to protect us forever, but I just want to show some of these synergies. So now if we use her single target attack here, she's probably going to kill it. She's probably going to kill it. Let's just attack this one. So there's the supportive attack. There's her attack. Oh, she killed it. I was like, where's the final supportive attack? No, she killed it. We didn't need the extra attack. So there's the revenge. As you saw, there was the revenge, which got the kill as well. So if we get... boom. There's the support attack. There's the support attack. And there's the support attack. So we just start churning through. There's the support attack. And there's the support attack. So you can see, like, this synergy I absolutely love when you got enemies doing single target damage. That is the key. But obviously, you're only limited on how many you can actually do. So... that is that. So now, once again, we can go ahead and we can pop this as well. We just go boom. There's the supportive attack. There's her actual attack. And there's the other supportive attack. And so on and so forth. And it just keeps rolling. And like I said, now we've got heals in a pinch. So we can go ahead and heal up if we need to. Perfect. Then her, we can just come over here and we can just smack him. That just kills anyway. We don't even need to worry about the supportive, even though we still got the supportive attack. And then with her, once again, we just don't want to use the AoE, because we do want to make sure we are proccing the supportive attack. So we can go boom. There's that one, and she would have followed up, Qiongjiu would have followed up with another one. So you can see, especially in bosses, if they're doing single target damage as well, it allows you to get a bunch of those supportive attacks. So there's those core synergies that you can really play around. But that's all I really wanted to show you guys in this one. Like I said, the core thing is having at least one sustaining unit, and then building the rest of your team around synergizing the damage capabilities of whatever character you are looking to use. Like I said, most people will be using Qiongjiu or Sharkry, I would assume at the moment, and there is that great free-to-play core of Sharkry with Ksenia and also Krolik. I think it's an absolutely fantastic free-to-play core. And then with Qiongjiu, once again, if you want to run more supportive teams that have more buffs, maybe you're running something like a cheater and you're using some buffing attacks, then you can always run with Tololo if you have her, because Tololo has the passive that gives her extra turns, and those extra turns and then into single target attacks are going to proc the Qiongjiu. So there's a lot of synergies. That's a good little base outline for you guys. Like I said, besides that, it just comes down to what content you're playing and what team is optimized for that content, how much damage you're taking, what mechanics you need to interact with, and I can always do more in-depth teams in the future, but hopefully that gives you a good understanding of a core free-to-play team that you can build around, and then some other options that you can move on to. Like I said, we do have AoE as well with Peridia. That is fantastic, and the key with Peridia, just make sure you got something that can do AoE damage on your team so that she can proc her supportive attacks. And that is pretty much everything I wanted to go through. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.